It's working now. Okay. And so what my goal was for this round was I was going to start by rereading all of the journals that I have access to, which so far is Atris's journal, Gen's journal, and I guess this isn't really a journal, but it's something. So I guess I will just start with that. Oops. Okay. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. Revisions to Riven completed. There's still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my presentation and can find no discrepancy. I've not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that I'm just not seeing it. If the fault is within my foundational assumptions, however, perhaps after a short rest I will see something. Success! It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. Just a few more weeks of work and I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I have received no sign from her in all that time. I'm afraid that I must assume that she is all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. I did not create the Age of Riven, unlike my father. I have never presumed to have such power, and yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far I've managed to read the page before it turns. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe I have saved a dying world. But the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem now is Gen. I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the islanders if he is still the man he once was. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Denise civilization has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the last 33 years, because no one has been able to leave that age. The last linking book out of Riven has been lost in the star fissure upon my return to Myst. That was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all the existing links to the other worlds. And since the art of constructing books has long been lost with the fall of the Denise, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime, and effectively segregated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. In effect, that is what we achieved. But the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal, though the sting of In effect, that was what we achieved, but the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Though the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory, the deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time, it all seemed so clear. Gen's destructive path could not be allowed to continue. but it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough! To dwell in the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I have acquired in the years since that time is yet to be applied to this problem. I think I have the solution. Why did it not occur to me sooner? I do not know, unless the idea of it had been pushed out with the thought of my sons. A prison book. Many years ago, during the hunting expedition through the ruins of Denis, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as a part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula with a little experimentation, and with a little experimentation quickly succeeded in creating one of these devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering the key lines of text but slightly, a normal linking book's connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point the person would become trapped, and the first person displaced back into the world. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be unable to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appeared to be a link back here to Denis? Trouble. My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are the results of the changes I have made. This did not, at first, concern me. However, tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I'd realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are barely visible, but there's no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent, unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do so. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that my father's economy of words has yielded. But it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable. Oh, hey. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to be reading for a little bit. Good to see you, though. Sleep well. But it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now, and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. Yeah, I've been experimenting with different platforms, so I'm glad that it looks cool, because I can't see it on my screen. I think that I've come up with a way to subdue the tremors. It will require my exclusive attention. It will require my exclusive attention for at least a month or two, so it may be necessary to discontinue these journal entries for a while. And then it looks like only a couple days, like 4 or 5 days later, something truly miraculous has happened. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost Myst linking book and has freed me from this prison. I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs to Riven and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine has given me renewed hope. The last few days have left me little time to work out the remaining problems with sending someone else to Riven. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gen has been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven and risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gen. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes use of a visual signal the deteriorated state of the gateway image makes use of a visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting variations of the noise patterns, I am still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem is that my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level, and it seems unlikely that an individual could affect such an elementary change from within an age. The idea may be foolish. Still, there is a known weakness that may be worth investigating, an anomaly that appears as a rift between two separate systems, the star fissure. But how, or even if, this fact could be exploited, I cannot say. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I received the signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should be then a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible, but I'm afraid that there can only be one answer to the question of whether or not I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. I still think that it was a little rude of him to only give me that. Or only give me that once I was already here, so. Alright, and now Gens. And I might pull this up online because last time I had trouble reading his handwriting. Yes, I might do that. Yeah, I don't like his handwriting. I know that it's technically nicer, but I have trouble reading it for some reason. Okay. Okay. The latest ink formation has proven a failure. Even when writing my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimmer of a connection. It is frustrating to expend so much effort creating a blank book only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and papers, the physical dimensions of the books, the more I realize that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like these that I despair. Without access to Denis, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be explored. So, I hadn't realized that Denis was its own age, I don't think. So, I will note that. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field and have proven their paths are cyclical, I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field. I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field, and have proven their paths to be cyclical. Without proper instrumentation, it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it first appeared. It seems that the fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces. So, fissure. Okay. Much like a link, but the apparent physical contradictions surrounding this juncture defy logical reason. The great column of wind that was first formed when the fissure first appeared suggests a vacuum as one might expect in space, yet my early experimentations revealed the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris and Catherine threw themselves into the void is further evidence that it might be safe to travel. But without knowing its true nature, I cannot take the risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen. If I were to reopen it after so long. But it is likely that the results would be catastrophic given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. So he's thinking the changes in the age have to do with the star fissure and not his bad writing. And he also thinks that Catherine left with Atris. Did he see it? Or did she get lost or something and have to come back? And whatever it is, he's able to observe it, but it's closed and inaccessible at this time. Okay. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. Okay. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of the system. I believe the construction I believe the construction to have been true to the Denis designs of my memory. Another example of the superiority of the Denis technology. It is ironic that Atris and Catherine unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. I believe so. How did they provide it? Is it from the star fissure? As with many views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origin of the fissure have changed. I've recently begun to wonder whether it was actually an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atris wrote into the age during their escape. Certainly by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively, but I do not believe that Atris intended for the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than risk the possibility of it falling into unknown hands. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, I wonder if the linking book out of there is what my character found. And that's how it got to Myst in the first place. So I would be the unintended consequence or benefit of that action. Also, they foreseen the creation of the fissure. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet, a fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable for her homeworld. But I thought that it had breathable atmosphere, so why would it eat the atmosphere? Okay. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened, for the villagers were far too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. I prefer to think that my son had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me rather than a death sentence, which I still think that's an acceptable thing to hope for. The construction of the imagers has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt the Denis technology to mimic that of the Amid. In some ways, the similarities between the two cultures was striking. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication or commerce between the two cultures in earlier times, maybe Kata's people were even descendants of the Denis. It pleases me to think so. Note: It's possible that if I were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I would suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generators would provide such an enormous surge. Perhaps I should adapt the fire marbles. Fire marbles? Communication. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication between the two cultures in earlier times. I don't feel like I have enough information still to know what this might be. Communication device. Maybe it's the imagers and they just decided to draw it on the next page. Oh, it is an imager because this is the thing that shows images. Okay. I have been cataloging the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet I still continue to find evidence of the Denise preoccupation with 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance in the Denise society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, from the So Denis was on Riven. But he thinks he created Riven, but the Denis was on Riven. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 has a special significance to the Denis society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the text that I used to compose this age. So he did make it, but because he seems like he's contradicting himself here. If he's finding evidence of the Denis preoccupation with 5, okay. Compose this age. Further proof that their art, the Denis masters. Further proof that through their art, the Denis masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. While most of my constructions have been based on Denis designs, I see now that the ones that I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and I believe the most structurally sound. I am still attempting to determine how the Denis color symbology reflects this superior design principle, although superficially it is based on a 6-color system. I am convinced that there has While most of my constructions have been based on Denis designs, I see now that the ones I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and I believe the most structurally sound. I am still attempting to I'm still attempting to determine how the Denis color symbology reflects this superior design principle. Although superficially it is based on a 6-color system, I'm convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. I will continue to investigate. And those are probably the 6 colors right there. I have finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. It is a harsh and desolate age, but is nonetheless well suited for my purposes. So I have designated it to be my 233rd. So that's what that number is. I feel like I may have just gotten, cheated a little bit, but... So if he made this world, I've linked to a new world. That sounds like the world already existed and he just created a link. Not that he made this world. So I've designated it to be my 233rd. By studying it closely, I believe I will eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to resettle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my living quarters there, in order that I may conduct my experiments in safety without distraction. Build an office. See, that looks like something... This looks like the thing that's on that mountain. Is he saying that this is the office? Or is this the link? I suppose that could be it. Maybe every single one of those turning domes with the fire marbles on them are the makeshift links that he's making. So this could be the link to that office. Modifying the fire marbles. I just set up my living quarters there. I must admit that I am proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I have accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Denis centuries to achieve. Well, there is definitely the what's the word? The massive ego that Atris was describing. Note: repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. I have begun construction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on 233. I have begun construction on a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on 233. So they're link sites. That probably is the domes, the rotating domes. The survey has finally completed the site. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island, according to my exact specifications, and installation of the domes is underway at last. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid, but the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having a civilized mode of transportation. Okay. So this is the dome we were looking at. This is the thing that's inside that dome. Not the dome, the like big globy thing on the mountain. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I have decided to install a coded access system to all the domes. Due to continued disturbances, so if it's funny that this doesn't include the numbers so those are definitely numbers. I know I have pictures of this, but I'm going to show them anyways. Coded access system into all of the domes. And I did take notes on these when I first read through it, but that was a while ago, and I feel like taking new notes is helping me pay attention. I caught one of my assistants overlooking this journal today. I'm glad I've chosen to write it in a language they cannot decipher. Note: discuss security with each guildmaster. No problems expected from the maintainers, educators, and surveyors. Question the bookmakers and builders more closely. Today I heard several more reports of spirit sightings from some of the villagers. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or the Black Moiety, as the villagers obstinately insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics, and have renewed their campaign to intimidate the villagers into joining them, playing upon their shared superstitions. The villagers are certainly susceptible to this form of coercion, especially given of late the rebels' increasing acts of vandalism and theft. The tram traps have been steadily fruitful this year. Apparently, the breakup of the islands had not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are experiencing a similarly generous harvest. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such morbid issues aside, the sudden availability has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any of the others from recent years. Chemical analysis of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. Its composition contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears that they have access to a resource of which I am unaware, perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. Note: most of the knives have been found in the south side of the village. It is the same area in which there have been reports of people mysteriously disappearing. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. That they leave these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence concerns me. They are growing more bold, and it seems no longer fear discovery of their hideout. The latest measurements indicate that the recent trend has continued. The movement of the islands has slowed tremendously. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures I am uncertain. I have nearly finished writing the 234th age. And I have every faith that it will be a safe place for us to relocate to. Yet it would be helpful to know what has caused the halt in this age's breakup. Is it possible that it's stable after all? If so, I must discover how this age differs from my less successful attempts. My examinations of the 233rd age have thus far proven inconclusive. Or perhaps someone is repairing the damage to the 5th age. If so, it would almost certainly be Atris's doing. I've reluctantly decided to abandon my experiments into the behavior of water in this age, as there are more pressing matters on which I must now concentrate, leaving me little time for such speculative research. For future reference, however, my investigations up to this point have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a life form that resides in it, specifically a type of bacteria. I am imagining a motile unicellular organism but one with structure capable of holding bits of water, whose combined effect, via surface tension, a stronger force, causes the composite body of water to move in response to heat. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, for example, a period of extended boiling, seems to kill the bacteria, which would explain its dramatic aversion to heat sources. Unfortunately, these theories are still not fully tested, but I remain ignorant of its deeper nature and its possible uses. An exciting development. Last night, a squad of maintainers stumbled upon a lone rebel scout and obtained from him a most incredible device. It is a crystal that somehow powers these flawed linking books, much as my own system does. But with an obvious advantage. It is small and weighs only a few pounds, making it completely portable. Catherine must have fabricated the device before I captured her, obviously with an explicit Denise schematic. So he captured Catherine. Obviously with an explicit Denise schematic she must have brought with her to this age. If only I'd had access to such documentation all these years. Regardless, I can now concentrate solely on the writing of ages and need no longer worry about building elaborate power supplies for each new book I write. This is a sobering reminder, however. This is a sobering reminder, however, that I must continue to seek an avenue to Denis. Regaining access to the resources there may be crucial to the completion of my mission. No longer worry about it. Okay. It might be useful to check that date with the other ones. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope of my survey room, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored, near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently and quite mysteriously been replaced with a new one overnight. I have long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but have paid little attention to them until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. Okay, and that was 8. I guess I have dates right here. 87,728. So this is the last entry into the book is 87,706. So this is significantly later. So we're missing a lot of the book apparently. Okay. Interesting. I was not able to. Oh, hello. Welcome. Welcome from New York. Hello from California. How are you today? I don't know what time it is there. It's probably morning. Very early morning. I wasn't able to look at your guys' messages while I was reading that on my phone. So, I like it a lot. It's definitely more difficult than the first one, but the story is a lot better, and I really like how detailed it is, and yeah. Oh, are you in New York as well? Yeah, but I really like it. Close to it. Okay. It's not that much later than it is here. What code were you talking about? Because I wasn't able to look at what you were saying. Seen that device already, and the code written here was actually random to each playthrough. Okay. Oh, the code to the domes, the color code? Okay. Well, there's 6 symbols. The eyes, right? Oh, this. Gotcha. The squares. So what they look like doesn't actually matter all that much? I wonder why he had to burn them every time there was a failure. Does it create like another star fissure vacuum? Okay, well I have them written down. Oh, so that's probably why it's not written down. Alright, what was the last thing that I had written? Details for the rotating room. Pissed off whale. Oh yeah, I have seen it before. Yeah, I was, I don't remember what my question with it was, but I recognized it. It's in the room that you see, like, right towards the beginning. I don't know why, but I feel like I've forgotten a lot since the last time I played, and it hasn't even been all that long. There were a lot of discoveries that were made last time I played, though. Did I win the entire game? No, but I appreciate your confidence in me. Yes, it is. I take it you've played before? Oh, I left that one. So, I know that somehow this is a linking site. There's one on every island. I know at one point one of you guys mentioned that those are fire opals, or fire marbles? Did they make I know they remade Myst recently. Did they remake? Yeah, it is really beautiful. It's super well done, very well thought out. There's got to be a way to, like, open this up somehow, or maybe... To me, that looks like the orange color. Which is weird, because we've established that this island is associated with the red color. Is it good? I can add it to my list. I tend to like cheesy things too. Sometimes it's nice to have something that's just silly. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to avoid that. My friend has a desktop computer, and it's the first desktop computer I've ever seen that doesn't even have a CD port. Did you like Myst? Thank you. You should follow, and because I'm definitely not going to solve this today. So if you follow, you can catch up next time I play. Thank you for stopping by. Well, that's encouraging. See if the whale's here to get close to anything. However, the woman moving around is no longer there. Hello? What did the guys who made Myst think of the parody? Did you ever see anything about that? Hey, buddy. Oh. That's not new. He was never happy with me. These lights must be underwater. Because that's where this one is. Unless this is the star fissure? And I fooled him, what, 3 or 4 times? I thought that I saw something. Let me go look at that and then go wander around again. That looks like a thing to me. Apparently it's not. Okay. You think that he'd take some responsibility for me fooling him? I don't even know what I'm fooling you for, though. Maybe he thinks that I'm someone that I'm not. Did I name these islands? I feel like I started to and then I didn't. So, know that this is a fish. I think the reason I was puzzling over the imager is because I don't know what it's for. And I was wondering if there was something that some bit of information that I was missing. Or if I could figure out what exactly they're for. Which one is the gold one? It's moving too quickly. Oh snap! I figured out a thing. Wait, I was so distracted that I completely missed which one it stopped on. Don't know what one of these numbers is. Damn, I don't know what most of these numbers are. Okay. That's fun. I'm going to assume, based on what information I've been given, that this is a linking site. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a linking book that's just really large and impossible to tell what it's for. Or really large and impossible to move around, but it's got to be the entire site. do with all my notes? Oh, there it is. Why? Oh, that's why you said perfect random click. I have to click it on a certain one, don't I? Red. Which, as far as I know, is the first one. I was thinking that maybe the order is important. The order could be, because those are groups of 5. Right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are groups of 5, and there's supposed to be like a 5 color system, but if I don't actually know the official order of them, I can't exactly. So now I just have to figure out how to open the other ones. Don't worry, I'll just stand right here while you tell everyone to go run and hide. I'll be patient. Sky kind of looks like Iron Man. Still gross. No. This is probably the hideout that he was looking for. I know that they can be pushed down. The only reference we've had to the animals so far are the artifacts, the eye artifacts, which are the frog, the beetle, and the whale sound. But they're all very cryptic, so I don't really know which ones I'm selecting. Don't think that's a frog. Could be the beetle. Don't think that's a frog either. That could be the frog. You mean location, or is there anything else special about them? goes down for now. See if anything else changes. Oh my gosh. I just figured with their thing about 5. I suppose that's not going to work again, huh? Sorry, I didn't see you said something. From this angle, it looks like, oh, all three. I guess they do look like totem heads of something. I can't name it though. This one looks like a grasshopper to me, but I feel like that's definitely not right. These? They do kind of look like drums, but I don't know. I don't have anything that I could drum on them with. Two drums and two pots. And a furnace. Is that the seal thingies? And that is the number 4. One. Just curious. 2. 3. 4. 5 because now that I know it's there, it's like I walked by this quite a few times too. The last one had something like a path or something, then this one should too, right? Hey, how's it going? Seems like the eye is always the same shape. um, yeah. Since I don't know when it ends, I can't exactly say how far through it I am. But aside from the fact that I'm so confused and don't know anything, it's going well. I'm enjoying it. Did you guys finish the game? So the seal sound I was right next to where I heard the beetle sound. And here's the seal sounds. I take it I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the islands once I figure out how to get off the islands. So the seal sound is right. The seal sound is right next to the whale sound one. About these balls? So that's the whale. I know that those are numbers. There's sound, there's location. It seems like these ones so far are right next to different sounds. This is, there's the 5. Well, wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is the number for 5. So that was it? Just the numbers? Sounds and numbers? I'm not missing anything else? So I'm missing one. This one was 5. The one before it. The one that has the seal sound was 4. And there's the frog sound, which is 3. And the beetle sound, which is 2. So there's got to be one more. Honestly, it is really pretty. Especially for when it came out. Honestly, this game was way ahead of its time. that pattern again. Is this water just sort of extra detail? Or does it have a purpose? Oh wait, no, I do have one. There's the Eyeball and Gen's workshop, and that is one. But that one doesn't have a noise. Because it's not attached to anything. They said that they found it floating in water. He said he found it floating in the water. So that could be the connection. Floating in the water. And then the beetle sound, which was next to water. just went back to the same place where I was, huh? Oh. Yep, still have absolutely no idea what it is that I may have missed walking out of this. And I'm assuming I'm projecting my image into the room that's right here. My question is why? Here's another giant thing stuck in the ground. Apparently no secret path near it. Well, not Atris, again. He's also the one who was working on the imagers. Has used an egotistical net to spread his word to the masses. To spread his genius. So more people could hear him speak. to scare people? Am I able to do anything with said hole in the wall? A cool restaurant. Yeah, me too. I wish I could take it with me to try and put it back where it's supposed to go. To the entrance of the bay. But I can't go there because I can't swim. So that means that there should be another one. And I'm just not finding it. No, but only one way to find it. This is the crater island, right? Monitoring the situation of villagers from the scope in my survey room. I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating, but anchored near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see that another floating there. The missing object had apparently and quite mysteriously been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. there's the one on the first island that I was just complaining with the imagers. And then, what am I doing here? I'm going the wrong way. No, stop. And then there is the one that is on the other island, the map island, with the maps and the lights. No. Well, no. So either I'm forgetting about one, or there's another one that I don't know about. Am I forgetting one? I did say that I feel like I've forgotten a lot of things for some reason, even though it's only been a couple days since the last time I played. So there's a chance that I'm forgetting something. Was there one in like the labyrinth? The water labyrinth? Should just go through all of the islands and see all of the places again. We've got to list everything that there is. Door. This looks like... Would this be one of the things that you could spy with? And whatever that is, I can't see. There's something that's making it so I can't see through this. Me too. Oh my goodness, I have 8 people here right now. Thank you guys. I don't think I've ever had 8 people before. That's, not much to brag about, but I'll take it. Blizzard, should I go back and look at that? Oh, thank you. Yes. There are 2 spy cameras from the left lever, but one of them is blank. And the other one is in some random room where I've seen a woman walking around. Okay, I'll go look. Is that an actual statistic about being the #1 Riven streamer? How can I tell that? I've been trying to get a bunch of people to try Myst. Oh, so that's an actual statistic. Okay, that actually is pretty cool. Nice. This is not blank, but I can't really see anything. fool them again. Shame on me. I don't think he'll be biting my toes off. He'll probably just bite my entire body in two. Do we get an explanation for why he gets so mad? About him not biting my toes off and just killing me? Oh! Wow! So this is the spy room. I do think I picked up on this last time. Here? Oh, there's the bay. I think that's one of the docks. Paused where? That's the teepee thingy that lifts me up. I really can't see anything. I'm assuming that this is a cliff face. Oh, that might be the school right here. I have 9 people now. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is the school. That's like a cliff face back there. That's probably ladders from the village. Assuming this is still water right here. I think that's another staircase. Here's one of the docks. It's a cave, maybe? Could just be a shadow of something. And then this is a staircase thing. There's the TV thing. And I can't really tell anything from this image. Like maybe water right there. Squint for this one or for the last one? Sorry, not that one. I guess if this is a reflection, that's something right there. Okay, so that's probably it right there. Because this is a reflection of the water. And if there's a reflection of the water, then there shouldn't be, that means there's something there that's blocking the reflection. So what is this? This one just doesn't move. I try and get to the guard station. It's not the direction I wanted to go. Did I say the wrong thing? Oh shoot, that's not what I meant to do. Damn. Is that... Are those things underwater? Those things? There's no way. There's no way I could get to it. Well, here's what I know, is that there should be the third eye somewhere in this bay. I'm having trouble figuring out where that would be. Since there are numbers on them, there isn't really an entrance. It's like it's a lake. Let me try. The village is over here. It's floating anyways. Seen as in past it, or seen as in interacted with it? So the thing that I thought I saw, I was right. That's what it is. When I was looking through the imager, I don't know what I'm trying to do right now. When I was looking through the imager and I saw the reflection of that cave with the railing path through it, and I thought I saw something like a rock or something sitting at the top of the reflection, because it wasn't, I don't know how to explain that properly. I thought that I saw something, and then once I found what I thought is the cave, there wasn't anything there. that it right there? That's it right there, isn't it? I was trying to do with that. Okay, go ahead and give me a more direct hint. I don't know what to do. My character can't swim. Chasing. Okay. So, should I go back and look through the spyglass again? I know that's the spyglass. Go for it. You can be direct. I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this one out. And I probably would eventually, but who knows how long it'll take. There's a beetle. Oh. That's the shape that I'm supposed to select, isn't it? So the other one would be a fish, right? That's why it was removed. Is it the shape of the... Oh, backed up too far? I was thinking the shape of the cave exit. So I was right, the shape of the cave exit. Because I don't see anything else that it could be here. Okay. It's like, did I back up too far? Oh, so I didn't back up far enough. I think it's that one. So that's 3. There's a couple that look like they could be whales to me. Oh, did they all reset? Whoa, what the heck? That's really freaking cool. What is it? What the heck just happened? Is there water over here now? What? It's a repaired linking book. Yeah, true. I mean, if the locals can do it, though. So this area, to me, it's pretty clear that this is... That must be the crystal thing that Atris was talking about. Because this is definitely Catherine's area, so we haven't heard about this area yet. Alright, going for almost 4 hours. True. Very true. I've not, but I've... True. Okay. Okay. Now it's glitching. Great. Hopefully, man. Alright. I'm going to come back to this. So today is Tuesday, so I will be back on Thursday with Riven. Tomorrow I will be continuing. Yes, definitely. Next time we're going to be going to another age. Yay. Thank you so much for your help. I would have been stuck on that for a very long time. Was the shape of the cave entrance the thing that you wanted me to notice? When that one time when you said, is there anything you've noticed about the cave entrance? For the frog. Okay. Well, I could stop going crazy about that then. Thank you. Yeah. That would have taken me a very, very long time to notice it all. And I'm excited now. Now there's something obvious that I'm going to be able to do next time. Yay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow I will continue with Secrets of the Maw, which so far has been very glitchy, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm not... Okay, cool. That makes me feel a little bit better. I don't think I would have noticed for a while. That's what I was trying to do. But... Well, if you were just going solely off of the sounds, how did you get the first one? Or did you notice the shape for the first one and sounds for the rest of them? Yeah, that makes sense. I was so determined to get to it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Logic checks out. Okay, well, thank you again. Yeah, there are only 2 fish. I remember looking at that when I was trying to figure out which whale shape. A couple attempts again. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping. Thank you for watching. I hope that wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely rest of your night, day, evening. And I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday. Bye. Thank you.